I love story games. Telltale's The Walking Dead was my first big budget Marvel game and played up until episode 2, and since my broke ass couldn't afford to pay for games when I was 7 years old, I just watched PewDiePie's reaction. Ugh. But overall, I loved it. The dynamics between Lee, Kenny, and Clementine are definitely up there in terms of peak characterization. There was also the continuation of Kenny and Clementine's character arcs in Season 2, and that ending, holy shit. And since that era of gaming, I've been trying to find that immersion ever since. And since that time, Telltale got too big for the britches, went broke, and died. And those who are a fan of A Wolf Among Us would never get that sequel which they teased all the way back in 2022. In 2018, Nick Berman, Dennis Lennart, Michael Chum, and Pierre Charette, having worked at Telltale on titles like The Walking Dead, A Wolf Among Us, Batman, and Minecraft Story Mode, the four escaped out of the fiery wreckage that was Telltale Games and formed a company of their own, Adhoc Studios. Together, they were on their way to making a name for themselves outside of Telltale. Then 2025 came around. Dispatch is an episodic story-based game where you play as Robert Robertson, a name even more stereotypical than Peter Parker and accidentally related to Little Death Row inmate. He is the third heir to the Mecha Man identity and on a quest to take down a supervillain named Shroud. On his quest for vengeance after Shroud murdered his father, the second heir to Mecha Man, shit hits the fan. Robert is easily ambushed and his suit is turned into scrap, made worse when the suit loses its powerful energy source, the Astral Pulse. Robert retires as Mecha Man and comes across the blonde Blazer. Going to help Robert restore the suit, she gives him a position at SDN, or known as the Superhero Dispatch Network, to be a dispatcher, someone who can deploy heroes across Los Angeles to deal with threats, from a cat stuck in a tree to a hostage situation. At SDN, you meet a whole cast of characters, including an old friend of Robert's, Chase, who used to be the former Speedster hero Trackstar, Roy, an SDN engineer that excels in brain and brawn, who assists Robert in rebuilding a Mecha Man suit, and then you got all of Z-Team, a group made up of supervillains looking to turn a new leaf by working under SDN as superheroes. I won't get into details other than the fact that Dispatch provides so much personality and depth into these characters that you can easily fall in love with them. And I mean that thoroughly.
You might like me loud sometime.
Was that about sex?
Catch on quick. I'll grab us a table.
Put it into a nutshell, Dispatch's gameplay invokes the feeling of working a 9-to-5 office job. As an SDN dispatcher, you are answering calls across LA, and it's up to you who is best for that situation. That can easily be achieved through reading the requirements for the task and correlating it to the stats of the members of the Z-Team. There are 5 stats you must account for in each situation: combat, vigor, mobility, intelligence, and charisma. Like a JoJo stand. In the beginning, all members have certain attributes higher than others, but over time, as you make progress, you can level up your heroes and either have them focus on one area or equally distributed. This overall contributes to a percentage of success system, which can be increased optionally by including more than one member of the team to the mission, team synergy, member abilities, or using Golem to solo everything. But despite having a high percentage, sometimes you can still fail.
Oh, no way.
Additionally, dispatchers are hacking minigame that's both integrated inside and outside the story. So you're not sitting on your ass all game with your mouse button.
Touchdown! 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 Kiss my ass, Briggs!
But the real juice comes from the other side of dispatcher's gameplay, forcing you into socializing with other people. Similar to other story games, there are dialogue options that personalize Robert to your liking. So if you want to be a psychopath, then you can do that. Other than that, majority of the dialogue are there to provide some great banter between Robert and the characters. And oh man, the characters are great. For one, the characters' designs are simple yet effective in representing their personalities. Like, one look at Sona and you know what kind of man he is. Like, he's some sort of Batman. And then you have the personalities themselves. Like, I can't tell if some of the dialogue was improvised, because a lot of the lines deliver on the comedy, and comedy is difficult.
Who's the most bullyable on the Z team?
It's Waterboy, obviously.
It's an honor to be nominated.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's me.
Yeah, at least Waterboy can get a girl wet.
But other than the solid humor, Dispatch's enriching story comes from the emotion. It was legitimately heartwarming watching the team work out their differences and get along, especially in episode 5, but I'll keep my mouth shut since it's best when you play the game. At times, Dispatch feels more like a show. Not that it is a bad thing. If you fuck with Invincible, then this game is instantly up your alley. But what I mean is that you can get easily invested into the characters, the romance, the twists, and by the end, man, I can't wait for Season 2. And congrats to the team of Adhoc Studios building this massive project as their debut video game. Speaking of the team, who can forget the voice acting? I don't know how they managed to do it, but Adhoc's first developed video game features award-winning actor Aaron Paul, aka Jesse fucking Pinkman from Breaking Bad, as the VA for Robert.
I like to bust after every big bust, you know.
Then you got award-winning actor Jeffrey Wright as Chase.
Come on! Open your eyes!
The stunt double for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Tenora Reed as Roy, Aaron Yevett, who was Snow White's VA from Wolf Among Us as Blonde Blazer, Laura Bailey, who's a huge video game actress as Invisigal, also known as my wife, and the last but not least, Young Gravy, Alana Pierce, Jacksepticeye, Lance Kanstopoulos, yes that's a real surname, and the Oscar-winning actor from the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, Voice Critical. Adhoc Studios amazingly work these voice actors into their characters and doesn't end up being a James Corden performance or underutilized like a bunch of voice actors in Invincible. Dispatch also has another great element, and that comes in the form of... Composed by Andrew Arcadi and Skylar Bartow, the music in this game is a banger. The whole soundtrack is a bop with this relaxing summer synthwave encompassing each scene, unless you get to that scene. There's a lot of great tracks, but my favorite certainly comes from the one I'll be using at the end of the video. Dispatch makes use of the licensed track too, and don't get me started. First Depressed is an actual banger, and I don't think I'll be able to control my violent urges at a bar if somebody played this. And the coolest fact that this was made by Prism's voice actress, Thought Squad. To The Way I Do by Primer is the shit. Actual 2022 sleeper hit that reminds me of A Real Hero from the Drive soundtrack. And Radio by Bershi is simply perfection. Thank you Dispatch for shouting out these small artists and bumping up my Spotify playlist. Dispatch is out now. Get it. Game of the year right here, Absolute Cinema. It's only $10 American or $40 Australian, cause fuck the Australian economy. And if you're not playing Dispatch, you are missing out.
Hi, I'm Blonde Blazer. I work over at Superhero Dispatch Network. We can work with this.
What's up, brother? My auntie named me Roy, but people call me Roy.
You ever think about why we do what we do? Help people?
Honestly, I don't know. Just makes me feel good, I guess.
You ever worry that a bunch of former villains actually get that same juice from the opposite? From hurting people? Keep up.
Some people are born to be heroes. I'm not one of them.
Fate, destiny, not having powers, depression, none of these things kept me
from being a hero before, and they won't keep me from being a hero again.